All right, welcome to part 3 of 5 of a brief history of Bastunia. This is a video about order. That's the second phase after discovery. We're talking about years 80 to 180. And Argus is a big player in this era as well, but more so the remnants of everything that he's been creating for the last 60 years. And more so his influence shows up in the lives of his children, the 4 sages, who at this point, the beginning of the order, they're about 18 years old. So the god has come in, given commandments, and given this ancient divine language, given some boundaries, given some assistance in creating a civilized world kind of through Argus. And so everything is just going to be fine and dandy, right? Everything's just peaches from here forever, right? Well, no, because then we wouldn't have a story to tell. And so what happens in year 82 is the Azigra attacks, because remember, Bastunia is like on the front lines of this galactic war, are becoming increasingly more frequent, increasingly more devastating. And everything that they're trying to build is just being torn down pretty quick. And so Argus kind of realizes a hard truth, and something has got to be sacrificed in order to keep his planet alive. The way they're progressing, the system is almost too good. The way that people are walking their path is so clear and in the vision of Buntu that the disposition of the planet, though, puts it in danger. It's like Azigra are moths flocking to this flame, except when they get to the flame, they're going to try to destroy the flame. And the more consciousness, the more evolved Bastunia becomes, the brighter they glow. And they're not just sitting, in the midst of a sea of glowing evolved planets, right? They're the one flashlight out in the dark, and the moths are just everywhere. So they're going to come to that one light. And so Argus has to make a hard call. He goes to the god and he says, what can we do for the safety of the planet? And Buntu says, well, we can sacrifice the knowledge of runes, and we'll kind of be casting the planet back into the Dark Ages, with some fragments of what they once knew. They won't be hopeless. They won't be completely Dark Ages, but the darkness is going to protect them for now. And we'll just slowly grow until maybe this galactic war progresses in a way that will be more safe. Maybe we beef up our own defenses by then, and we can just handle the attacks. Either way, he makes a hard call, and he sacrifices his life as part of the exchange for expunging the memory of runes from the history books and from the minds of the people. But the knowledge is preserved in the sages. And so they will carry the world forward. We've got the elemental sages, so an earth, a water, an air, and a fire sage. And their temples are kind of scattered around Bastunia in appropriate places for how they think and how they approach problems. And so about this time, the beginning of the order, Main City is established. And so Main City is allowed to grow. And honestly, things are pretty good in the wake of Argus's tough choice. They had enough of a system put together that people are happy. Of course, people always find things to grovel about, but they're not being wiped out by an alien death force. So they got that going for them. So that's sort of order. Order lasts 100 years. There's not a whole lot to report. Things are good. They're steadily progressing, except so is the galactic war. And while Bastunia is being hit, they by no means are getting the worst of it. And something is going to distract our god from the very attentive god that he's been so far over Bastunia, setting them up for success and being a part of their lives. Suddenly, he's going to get a little indisposed. And so begins the crumble. So we'll talk about that in the next video. I hope you enjoy this one. Like, subscribe, ask whatever questions in the comments you have about this era. I've got so many gaps that I fill in just because I know it. And so hard to always tell where the gaps are for you. So let me know. Is there a plot hole? Is there any gaps, any questions? And I'll see you in the next video.